to perform. I'm sure they'll be glad when the next burn, the one at 79.5 hours, is behind them, because that'll give them a little more opportunity to relax. And we'll just see how they sound as we go along, will we?
This is going to have to be the last one. This has been a very long shift for these men. Zach, you have something, then we can...
Glenn, when do you have to exercise these options? How much more time do you have to mull over all the problems and decide one way or another what you're going to do?
As you would expect, and I'm sure you who have covered the flight know, we'd like to be sure that we've thought out all options as long as possible. But I would suspect that within several hours of the plant burn, and getting it ready to take care of the pilots. And I think we're going to decide several hours before this upcoming propulsion opportunity. And then we're just going to press on fairly single-mindedly with that approach.
Thank you very much.
As usual in the last 8 hours.
Okay. When we came on this morning, we had already performed the mid-course from last night that I'm sure you've already been briefed on, and the vehicle was in passive thermal control mode, satisfactory calm, and we went around and briefed in the room. We are then and still are on a comfortable trajectory in that we are well within the corridor. Flight path angle of about 1/4 of a degree away from what we aimed for. During the night before we came on, they had a battery 2 malfunction, which was reported to me at the last press conference I was at, by the way. We had that blinking, still do, a number of times off and on intermittently, but we have pretty firmly concluded that it is only an instrumentation problem. We're continuing to use the battery, and the battery's performing fine. That battery is one of the descent batteries, battery number 2. We had turned on the telemetry last night, the thermal data that we were interested in getting, the temperature data that we're interested in getting from the vehicle, gave us a lot of confidence that the vehicle was in good shape. I'm speaking now mostly about the command module for entry. We had been on the LEM power. We had hooked up the umbilical from the LEM to the CSM to enable us to transfer power to the command module. This connection is capable of transferring up to 15 amps only. And when we came on duty, we were just starting or had just started to charge battery A. Battery A, you recall, was the one we used some while ago when we were powering the CSM when we were leaving it, when the fuel cells were going down, and that was down about 22 amp hours. So for the last few hours, we've been in the process of replenishing that battery, and we expect to have it fully back up to charge, sometime around 127 or 128 hours elapsed. We had been on, you recall I discussed yesterday, the fact that we hooked up a couple of the CSM lithium hydroxide canisters through which the cabin air was being drawn. The canisters were hooked up on the end of the hoses to cleanse the air of the carbon dioxide. We were on those systems for 20 hours, and we just began to see a very, very slight rise in carbon dioxide measurements. We were up to about 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeters of mercury, at which time we decided that we would put another canister on the end of the one we had already had rigged up, so that we now have 2 canisters in series, taped together so that there's no leakage between them, feeding into the hose through which the air is being drawn into the suit loop. So we are continuing to get good scrubbing or cleansing of the carbon dioxide in the vehicle, and we feel that the present arrangement of removing the carbon dioxide will last just fine into the 130 hours sometime, perhaps 135 hours thereabouts, and by that time, if we see the carbon dioxide level going up a little bit, we'll probably go back and select the primary cartridge, which we still have available in the LEM, which will